I'll leave you for a few moments to gather the information that comes and flows to you. Maybe you can distinguish what your future self looks like, what form or state they are in.
I'm not sure if I, as I was getting out of my craft, I was like glowing with that like white light. And that glow stayed with me and was kind of looking down at myself and I look like me, but kind of translucent, kind of shimmery. I don't get the sense that I am here, like in this time, that I have a lifetime at this point. I think I'm just here visiting.
Mm. And what other information is coming to you at this point in time?
I seem to be on a like it's very calm, quiet, grassy area. It almost has like a golf course like vibe to it. Like, and I don't think it's a golf course, but like that just very deliberate care taken to make it beautiful, to make it neat and balanced. And
Mm.
I get the sense it's morning. The sun seems low in the sky. Can hear the birds. It's very electric. I can feel can feel like energy throughout my body. It's yeah, very electric.
Nice. Does it have a color?
Hmm. Like an icy blue. It's like a almost like the sky, but a little more crystalline.
Mm. Beautiful. And as you observe your environment, the grassy area, do you feel or sense or notice any people or communities that are close by?
Oh, interesting. Um, it looks like it looks like a scene from Star Trek.
Oh,
Like the I'm seeing, I mean, like weird looking beings walking around. I mean, there are humans as well, but I first saw like I don't even know really how to describe him. Like he had like a kind of like a squid-like face, like kind of tentacly, but like sort of that kind of more bulbous skull um and he's just chatting with whoever he's walking along with. I mean, like these are just normal beings, but
yeah.
huh. Yeah, it seems like there's not a not a lot of people, but it's a busy area. I mean, I'm kind of looking around and there's paths crisscrossing. It almost feels it does almost feel like San Francisco. I At first I was like, is that just the Star Trek reference that I'm picking up on? But um, it's like I feel like we're higher up on like a hill or a, a cliff or something like that, and like this grassy area is up top, and so it's very expansive. Like it just feels very open. Um, so maybe that's why it doesn't feel crowded or anything because there does seem
Mm.
to be good amount of people wandering around.
Does the skyline look different?
Mm. I'm seeing I'm seeing more like rounded shapes, like almost like a large egg-shaped building. There's like a almost it looks almost like a mushroom where it's like kind of like a wide wide round top to it, but like the building then goes down. Yeah, it's there are still some of the more square tall structures we're used to, but seems like more flowy.
Hmm,
Very
that's
beautiful
nice.
though. Yeah, it's like at first I thought it was like glass and metal. And there is
Hmm.
some of that in the construction, but I'm seeing like a white, almost like seashell looking
Ooh.
material. It's like kind of shiny and hard, but it has like a different sheen to it than the metal.
Hmm.
Interesting.
And are you getting a sense of the technology that was used or the where this style has come from, this flowy architectural style and these new materials? Do you get a sense of the origins of this?
I mean, as soon as you started asking that question, I was seeing like spinning DNA, like the double helix. I'm seeing I'm seeing like a lab situation. It seems like something either that was um tweaked or in like that we worked with or something that we created maybe.
Hmm. Was there a particular race of beings that efforted to create these structures?
I do get the sense that it came from off-world, that there I'm getting like this visual of like shaking hands. I feel like there was like a sharing that happened.
Hmm. Makes my heart smile hearing you say that.
Yeah, the more that I tune in, I'm getting that electric feeling in my body again. It feels very it feels positive. It doesn't feel hmm, yeah, it feels like a very positive partnership or deal.
Do you get a sense of the year or time frame that this deal occurred, if that information is allowed to come through?
Got 50. So I don't know if that's 2050 or if it's 50 years from then or now.
Want to feel into that?
I'm seeing I'm seeing some scenes of like destruction of like melting. I feel like there's something that happened, uh, maybe multiple things that happened that I'm seeing like the metal melting, like our I guess our skyscrapers like melting down or collapsing. Um,
Was it a positive event?
it feels natural. Like I'm seeing like lava, um, like magma.
Mm.
Feels ultimately positive, but I definitely get the sense of some chaos, some fear,
Mm.
but it's only natural.
Was there a reason why you came to this exact spot to observe what you are observing with the buildings and the structures?
Mm. I'm just noticing just all of the different people,
Mm.
different different beings, different faces, different energies, but they're all working together. I get the sense that uh, I mean, I feel good here. I feel very good here. This space, this place, these people.
Mm.
I see myself smiling as I'm looking around.
Beautiful.
And there seems to be differences, but also not. Like there's beings are beings, people are people. There can be lots of fear in what may be, but there seems to be there seems to be plenty of joy here, plenty
Mm.
of excitement and hope, and it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful day, and looking up at the sky, I see some craft like moving through the air, flying around. There's the air's so clear,
Mm.
bright.
Has nature had an opportunity to heal itself, to reset itself?
Oh yes.
Beautiful.
Mm, I get the sense that there are some cities or some um, areas where we have currently spread that are no longer inhabited or like they're I'm seeing just like heavy greenery and like overgrowth covering some man-made structures. It seems like there's the sense I'm getting is more of a balanced, like there's oh interesting, yeah, because it's not I think this is San Francisco, but I there are parts of this urban area that are like have been given back essentially. It's like we have we've realized how out of harmony we were, how unbalanced we were, and there's more balance, not in the ways that we have now where there's these large, vast empty spaces and then these just incredibly dense populated areas. Like there's more of a balance and there's more room allowed for nature, room allowed for her to have her way, her
Mm.
natural flow. Huh.
What did it take for that realization to kick in for those inhabiting Earth?
We felt the imbalance. We I'm the sense that I'm getting is that there were multiple points where the infrastructure collapsed, where the imbalance was felt. My body's just feeling really heavy now. It's like there was there were moments where we couldn't all get what we needed because there were too many of us packed into a small area, and there wasn't resources, there wasn't food, wasn't energy, and that forced us to realize that
Mm.
it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't right.
Thank you for exploring that. You can come out of that energy and return back to your peaceful, glowing state, just observing and being the witness for what you see and receive as the highest information in the future for all concerned. You feel more aligned with that energy now?
Hmm.
Good. Would you like to start to investigate the dynamics of community now in the next 100 years? How does that look and feel and function?
Hmm. Yeah, I was curious because as we were coming back to that lighter space and state, I was like, what is family like these days? What are people doing? How are they interacting? And the first images that I'm getting are like, I guess like multi-family homes is like the easiest way to describe it. It's like,
Multi-generational?
yeah, it's like it almost looks like a tree. There's like the central column, and then there's like off of this is like different almost pods. Um, and like in each of these is, a kitchen and rooms and living space and a balcony, and like there's like all the spaces that you would need, but then there's connection to the other pods throughout the tree, and I'm seeing different species, I'm seeing different age groups, seeing little kids, seeing old people. Yeah, it seems joyful, it seems vibrant, seems yeah, it seems happy. I mean, I feel like we already feel this call, like we're already feeling this draw. Um,
Mm.
I've dreamed of this, I know. but it doesn't seem like it's just families because again I'm seeing different species too.
And how do they the species with the intermingling with human families, are they genetically related?
Some of them. I am being shown more humanoid or like human looking features.
Mm,
So I think some of them look more like us, some of them do not.
mm. So it's quite an accepted and integrated part in society and community. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, it seems very much a non-issue or um, like I'm not seeing any sort of like separations or divisions or like it's very much um, I'm seeing like a large room where everyone gets together at times and cooks meals together,
Mm,
celebrates together.
nice. And what kind of things do they celebrate together? Are there any particular events that might even be the same as the year 2025, or have they changed?
Hmm. It seems I'm not getting the sense that many of the names are the same or that we like seems more energy based. Well, when you first asked what do we celebrate, I was seeing a little kid blowing a candle. So I
Mm,
think birthdays um, and that sort of celebration is still very much alive, celebrating celebrating the life, celebrating the
mm,
light, celebrating that little soul spark.
yeah.
Um, I keep seeing like fire and like in like a ritualistic sense. It almost feels like it's more celebrating the seasons or celebrating
Mm,
the flow of the energies of the earth and us with it,
yeah.
less a prescribed is the word that's coming to me.
I was getting that sense of the elements as well. So does it feel like everything is very, very much more in tune with Gaia, and we live, we breathe and evolve together?
Yes, and not just Gaia. It's a connection to the cosmos as well, or like the
Mm,
celestial bodies as well. I was seeing like the planets moving across the sky. I get a
mm,
sense that we are much more
mm,
tuned in, much more aligned on on many levels. Um, it's getting the sense of ancestors as well. I feel like this is beyond like this is there's an alignment beyond like the physical and the energetic. It's like the spiritual connection to and and maybe that's just honoring our ancestors. I'm not
Mm.
exactly sure.
Are people's clairs more activated? Are families able to commune and communicate with their ancestors and loved ones at at a more easily way?
Mm. The sense that there are better times than others. There are more aligned times than others. There are things that the spirit side that the spirits have to do as well.
Mm.
So it's not um,
They have to meet us.
yeah, it the sense I'm getting is that yes, there is more ease, but it's not I guess the sense I'm getting is they're not like constantly there or constantly um, a part of our day to day. It's more so um, aligned moments where we come together.
Mm.
So I mean that celebration. I think it stems from our like our harvest time, our like Day of the Dead, our ancestor, connection in the fall. Like, 'cause I'm seeing like leaves and
Mm.
bonfires and stuff like that. Uh, it feels like that's more the focus of like honoring, venerating, connecting with, communing with, listening to um, our ancestors, those on the spirit side
Mm.
at that time. Interesting.
Is that quite a well-known, like throughout life on Earth? Is that something that's a part of everyone's lives?
Not everyone, but the most. You get the sense that there are still those who choose to close themselves off, whether it be hurt or fear,
Mm.
but much less common.
Okay. And how does kind of community in life feel with there's still some people that have that as their soul path. Is it completely separate to those that aren't in the vibration of fear? Is it almost like two worlds in one or
Mm.
something different?
I saw like if a very like old hunched over man and he seemed to be almost in ruins, um like wandering amongst those buildings that I saw covered in vines and trees and dirt. He seems really alone. He seems really angry. But that's his path.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry, the it's really sad. But I do get the sense that hmm, I don't can't really tell if it's all, everyone who is like that is on their own, but you you can't feel that community and be a part of it or engage with it. Like there's just there's an energy of welcomeness
Mm.
to to public spaces, to families. And so it's and I wonder if that's where some of the anger comes from, is like the possibility is there, like you just have to open yourself up to it, but of course you can choose not to. And so it's like, no, they're not engaged in the world that most people are. They're definitely in the shadows, in the dark places, because
Mm,
that's where they that's where they can be at this frequency and exist. Like they're just out of alignment with with the community.
mm,
They would always be welcome back. There's no walls or borders, or they're not exiled. This is by choice.
mm. Is it a deeper soul lesson, one that even people experience now in our current time as much as it is in the future? Is that still that same thread of not being able to just let things go and open your heart to love and possibilities?
There's definitely a bitterness. There's a stuck energy. Um, there's yeah, certainly soul path, soul lesson, soul choice, and even more. There's in the present time, there's camaraderie in loneliness. There are many more souls who are in that vibration and in that energy, and there's more overlap, interaction between, even if there is separation. But at this time, there's far fewer, and so it's in many ways a more intense lesson, and
Mm,
more powerful, or um,
mm,
visceral experience
mm,
to be at this time and to be choosing that lesson. But for some who need it, it is necessary. They are choosing that experience.
mm. This lesson, so I want you to, you can stay observing and witnessing it and not be in the energy, but you still be in your beautiful, glowing light essence, just observing and witnessing this experience. But the information coming feels like it could possibly help anyone watching this now. So they wouldn't have to possibly have this lesson in 100 years' time if they have been unable to uh, resolve this pattern in over lifetimes. Is there any wisdom or guidance or insight from a higher realm, from a higher perspective that could help inspire those souls to make changes now, in this time, in this present time, so it could help them in their future lifetimes?
It's it's really about embracing embracing the differences. There's so much fear, there's so much anger, there's so much misunderstanding in the differences. And in 100 years' time, not everyone is the same. There's not homogeny. There's not there's more difference,
Mm,
both physically, energetically, mentally. Spiritually, there's a little bit more homogeny, but the the experience of difference is what makes this individual experience worthwhile, and the contrast and the comparison and the understanding of your place versus the others, your soul, your lessons, your experiences versus the others is what is needed in order to feel all right with community. And many now are isolated and separated and feeling alone because they expect their community to be just like them. And of course, there is the need for similarities or commonalities or a frequency, but what we are missing is grace. What we're missing is love above everything else. And this is, of course, somewhat cliche. This is somewhat known, but not as often felt. And so, for those souls who are feeling isolated, feeling alone, especially those who may have anger or sadness, remembering that there is beauty in the difference, the more that you can work on accepting that difference in yourself, you will accept the difference in others. And this is the natural unfolding as we grow and expand, and our perceptions and awareness and interactions expand. So I think that is the wisdom for this moment.
Beautiful. That's really gorgeous. Um are there any practices or any other guidance or small things that could help people become more aware or in tune about these things to help them guide them to making better decisions in their life?
Honesty with oneself is important first and foremost, and then it's about bringing that honesty outward.
Mm,
You can't admit all of you and your actions and your attitudes to yourself, then you won't be able to others. But
mm,
that vulnerability is what allows for closeness, because we don't always realize the ways that we close ourselves off energetically from each other. When there's secrets, when there are things that we are ashamed of or fearful of, because fear is at the root of much of this,
mm,
then you are closing yourself off energetically, even if you don't do it on a physical level, or even if you pretend to small talk and connect and engage, you are closing yourself off energetically. And so the most mm, one of the easiest things that you can do is to begin being honest with yourself, and that will in turn allow you to be honest with others. And the more that we can be honest with each other and drop the facades, and drop the fakeness, and drop the mm, pretense of perfection, we
mm,
will move more towards this point of connection and community. And you mentioned psychic gifts. There is mm, there are species that we will interact with who don't use the spoken language, and there are no secrets there. There's no need for it because everyone accepts the journey that everyone's on, and there's love and respect for each other. There are
mm,
still sometimes frustrations or misunderstandings, that is only natural as we discover ourselves and each other. But honesty, honesty.
Thank you. I'm feeling that level of deep acceptance, that real love from inside out, and it being this beautiful flow, reflecting. Love that.
Hmm.
Hmm. Is there any other information that you're observing or is flowing to you right now?
I'm just really drawn by the sun
Hmm.
for some reason. I'm looking up at the sun. There's
Does, I
just go ahead.
was going to say, does it seem different to how you remember it in this lifetime?
It does. It seems it's interesting because it seems both brighter and yet softer. Um,
Hmm.
it's like a um, it's it's like the coloring of it or the energy of it is whiter, is lighter, but there's it seems like a contradiction, but there's like less harshness to it. There's a softness to the
Hmm.
light. Um, just the sense that I'm getting is like there's less mm, competition. There's less no conflict. There's less conflict between us and the sun. I suppose that makes sense. There's more harmony on
Hmm.
many, many levels, but um, you know, I'm getting the image of like the sun like roiling and then like a sizzling the sizzling of a hot dog. It's like the sunburn. It seems like there's less of that. There's less
Harshness.
yeah, there's less harshness. There's
Hmm.
uh and not that the sun isn't still powerful, but it seems like we're more in harmony with it as well in a basic way like that where we don't get hurt in the ways that we once did.
Has this have the planets evolved as well, just as evolution in with all life? Has the sun evolved?
Of course, yes. Yes. Yeah. Interesting. I'm getting more of I'm getting more of a feminine energy from the sun.
Hmm.
Um, just interesting because I had this come through in a session of my own with a client where their higher self referred to the sun with feminine pronouns. They were saying she. Normally we think of
Hmm.
the sun as being masculine, and the sense that I'm getting now is that indeed there is more harmony and balance within her as well between her masculine and her feminine sides. Interesting.
Beautiful. Is are you is it fair to ask if all of the planets are finding their inner harmony and balance between their feminine and masculine attributes?
The sense I get is some, but not all. That there are still preferences is the word that I'm getting.
Okay.
But I do get the sense that on that solar system level, I mean, I'm looking down at the planets, like the this system, because of I mean, the balance, there can't be more balance on in one area without that rippling out. And so there are varying degrees of rebalancing throughout the energies of the solar system, of the planets as we call them, but there is still variety. There is still nuance and personality,
Mm.
and now I'm seeing what looks to be looks to be an angelic being, and the sense that I'm getting is that astrology will be evolving, that our understanding of and use of this system will shift as we shift, as the planet shifts. So rip.
Wow. That's really exciting. Will the ETs that choose to integrate in harmony on Earth, will they be bringing new knowledge with them around astrology or?
They have their own systems, but the systems of understanding the processes and tools that we use for finding our place and understanding our way through this. Uh, we all have our iteration of that. And so some of the techniques, some of the insights are
Mm,
shared,
nice.
but there is also they are now living on Earth. And so our astrology, our positioning within the cosmos is different. And so there is much learning that almost more learning that they do moving here and joining us here than we learn from them because they're stepping into this system and this apparatus, this web.
Mm. This is really fascinating. Thank you for allowing this information to come through.
Hmm. Yeah, very interesting.
Mm,
Very interesting. Yeah, the ways that um, the ways that we interact and um, commune. Uh, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of newness coming as these new beings, these new energies. I mean, there's many souls that will choose to incarnate into these other forms in the future. Some
mm,
having been human before, others having come from elsewhere. And so there will be soul recognition on many levels, but the physical experience and the cultural melding will
mm,
continue to evolve and change. And the ways that we continue to learn how to do this now will lay the foundations for this coming ahead because many of the lessons and experiences we're having now are priming us for that as throughout history, as throughout our past, throughout this linear. trajectory. So
Mm,
there's there's interesting information to find, but it is important to remember to stay in the present moment, to not fall into fear of the other, because there is much of that being pushed right now.
mm,
Because when we come together in these ways, when we have acceptance for each other in these ways, there is that that love frequency cannot be be matched. And so when we work on these lessons now, it it has a ripple effect out, and we have much work to do in the here and now.
mm. Is there any guidance that can help people watching this, those that feel connected to this conversation and where life will eventually evolve? Is there any other guidance that can help humanity as a collective, on top of what you've already said earlier? Are there any other points that or reference or things that might help this transition period?
Remember that death is not the end. Much of our fears stem from this fear of being no more, or being erased, or being swallowed up, or being mm, destroyed. There is a lot of fear in being no more. And
Mm,
and this is so silly. This is such a narrow way of looking at the world, and there is much that is incomplete in the scientific understandings of the now moment, but energy, light does not disappear. It does
mm,
not, it cannot be destroyed. There is no destruction in reality. It is only transmutation and transfiguration. And so understanding this is one of the biggest lessons of the now moment, because there is, from the human perspective, destruction happening all around, and it will continue, both natural and unnatural.
mm,
And yet, that is not the end. And if you think about the skyline that we saw at the beginning, these buildings, these structures, they cannot be built where there is something already built. They
mm,
cannot exist where there is something already in existence, at least not in the same dimensional reality. And so the destruction or the transmutation of the physical matter is a part of this this journey and this transformation. And so while this may seem scary in many ways, it is nothing to be scared of, remembering that you are light above above the physical matter that you perceive yourself to be. You are energy, and that energy is forever.
mm,
It is infinite. It is past, present, and future. And the more that you can remember this, the more that you can take this to heart, the better that you will feel moment to moment, and the less that the scare tactics will be able to get to you, because this future of harmony, this future of community, this future of expansion beyond what we see, feel, hear, know now can only come through love because fear closes you off. And just as those individuals chose those lifetimes as recluses, as hermits, if you will, not of the spiritual kind, but more of the lower vibratory way, you can choose that as well. And there's no judgment in that. There's no real harm in that either. It's simply a different experience. And so
Mm.
don't don't look at this and say be hard on yourself or judge yourself for where you're at or how you're feeling because that will only drive you lower. You should have grace and love for yourself at where you're at. Acknowledge the growth that you've had, but continue moment to moment choosing love over fear, choosing the harmony and choosing acceptance, choosing honesty. These are all interwoven together and it is natural.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. From from where you are in your time, is there any guidance, any further guidance that can help those in 2025 as we record this? Are there any messages that can help that can help?
The anxieties that many feel in being prepared, in making the right choice, in heading the right direction. This could be in a location sense. Many feel the call to move or to shift locations. Many are wondering about the financial system and what is to come. And there is so much uncertainty and flux at this time. And that is as it should be, that is as it will be. But this means that there must be acceptance and mm, the allowance for freedom in how you show up day to day. If you are constantly in a mental state of planning and stressing and anxiety around making the right move to set yourself up for success or buying the right crypto or stockpiling enough food. These are all very physical mm, worries, very physical 3D perspectives. And when you can step back from that and remember that you are above everything light, these small uncertainties will fall away. And it's not that you shouldn't follow your gut, your inner knowing, your higher self inspiration, but there's a difference between that and paranoia and
Mm,
uh, and anxiety. And so if you feel these feelings, you should not be doing that. You should be getting quiet and listening better because you're not hearing the truth for you if you are feeling those ways.
mm,
So the guidance is to not be so worried about making the right choice because there is so much fluctuation at this time. You you will be hard pressed to make every single right choice. There will be hiccups, there will be missteps and trips, but remembering that you are taken care of, you are loved, you are provided for, and that may look different moment to moment and for each of you as you are on your own journeys and you are experiencing what you have chosen, but allowing for that future to come to us, keeping your sights set on the light and the love and working to bring more of that and replacing that stress, that anxiety, that paranoia with love for yourself and for others, that will serve you better.
Beautiful. Beautiful words of wisdom. Thank you. Lovely. Are there are there any more is there any more guidance that would like to flow through for this session for the intentions that we had?
It's it's really beautiful actually. Um I'm being shown a whole park or like forest area. It seems larger than our average park these days. I'm seeing this huge park forest area totally decorated. Like there's lights, there's decorations, there's um I'm seeing like photos of families tucked in bushes, and I'm seeing little trays of food left out for the fairies. I'm seeing it's just like the and this is juxtaposed to the ways that we cut down trees, cut them down, and kill them, take them inside to make a festive vibe in our homes, and it's just so unnatural.
Mm.
And I'm just seeing this just expansive forest, and it's magical. It's beautiful to see. And I mean, like everyone came together to do this. Like this was not just, one, this is a community effort. And it's
Mm.
that celebration that um the magic is still there. We just go about it in such a different way because we understand that our 25 days of festivities is not worth killing that tree that could have lived for 100 more years or 200 more years or 500 more years. Like it's not worth it because we can celebrate with the trees outside where they're meant to be, and we can still make it beautiful and festive. And yeah, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's so magical.
Feels it. You mentioned the elementals. Is there, does it almost feel a bit like Hogwarts with the levels of magic? Is it now being a standard realization in the world that this is a natural part of life to those who accept it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's I'm seeing um yeah, I'm seeing small fairies. I'm seeing what look like tree nymphs, maybe, or like the spirits of the trees.
Mm.
And it's not they do still have um their spaces and their places that they prefer, and yet because of the rebalancing that we undertook, there is much more closeness, and there is much more interaction. Um, I think it does seem like there are some who have more of a connection and who interact with them more
Mm.
um, than others. There are, but magic, what we consider magic is natural, and so there is a remembering of this, and everyone has their own talents and their inclinations, but everyone has access to this power in some way, in some because it is natural. We are connected to it now, but because of the the balancing that happens, there is more openness to this, and I get the sense that we learn from them as well more. Like there's more exchange, there's more um, encouragement from the elemental realms.
Beautiful. Yeah, feels very harmonious.
Hmm.
And those that wish not to be in harmony are separate,
Yes.
but ultimately elevated as a planet.
Yes, there's always a spectrum. There's always um a gradient. There's energies very rarely are absolutely separate. There's an interconnection in most all energy. And
Mm,
and so these even though even though these people are separate, they are not. They are still connected. They are still a part of this realm. They're still a part of the web of life, but their perception tells them that they are separate, and then their emotional state and their mental state reflect that. And so we talk about the separation or the bifurcation or the splitting. This is a split of perception. This is a split of, mm, but not a split of source. I mean, we are all one now, even as we perceive ourselves to be separate, to be individual, to be um, cordoned off. So I felt important to mention.
mm, thank you. I get I was getting the vision of the pulse. Everyone has a pulse, and to use that as a remembrance that we all have a pulse. And that can be a simple way to just remember that we are all connected. We are all living and breathing.
You can very easily take your shoes off and stand on the ground
Mm,
and just close your eyes and see those connections. See that connection between you and the ground, then the ground and the other people, and the ground and the animals, and the
mm,
ground and the sky and the sky and the stars. Like you can you can just tune into that harmony and that connection that already exists and the disharmony is but an illusion, and we can step back into that harmony in an instant. It can happen in a moment. All it takes is that switch of perception, which is harder than it sounds, but is also easier because you are powerful. Everyone is powerful and
mm.
has the abilities to shape their reality in so many different ways.
That feels like a its own channeling. Another session, actually, we could expound on that to see more of what that would look like.
Hmm. I love that.
Yeah. Before we complete the session, is there any other information that would like to come through for today?
I am um, seeing what looks like ships through space. Um, the sense that I'm getting is that there is exploration or expansion beyond this land, this realm.
Mm,
Um, I'm seeing families. It's just funny. It looks. I've gotten a few moments that look like Star Trek scenes. like a courtyard garden on a ship. This doesn't seem like any sort of like aggressive ship or um, even just like strictly scientific. Like there, it feels like there's family, there's community there as well.
Mm,
So even for those who choose to leave Earth, who choose to explore other places, uh, there's still community. There's still those connections.
mm, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for today's session, for the beautiful information that has flowed through. And I trust it will be received in the highest for all concerned.
Thank you.
Mm. Do you feel ready to return back to the present time?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
If you want to hug or connect with your glowing future self in any way, if you would like to recharge and replenish yourself with that beautiful glowing source love, source light, Christ love, Christ light, and just really breathe it into every single part of you, so when you do return you will feel so refreshed, rejuvenated, balanced, grounded, clarity beyond all. Wonderful. Are there any other feelings you would like to bring back with you, or emotional states?
Well, I'm bringing back some of that love and that harmony, that feeling of like the connectedness. Um, but yeah, that white glowing light throughout. Oh, it's just really nice.
Wonderful. Just breathe it into all of you. Yeah. And if there is a place in your body, I see where your hands are placed, you may want to just be able to connect to those areas, or just connect to yourself after this session, so you can return to this replenished energy, this pure glowing light from yourself, from this source energy, this pure love, anytime you need. Nice. Just let me know when you feel like you're completed.
Yeah, I can feel myself coming back.
Nice.